nous revoilà sur ce let's play narratif, donc What Remains of Edith Finch. Bon, on va voir comment ça se passe la suite. Pour l'instant, je suis un peu dubitatif. Je regardais par curiosité un peu l'arbre généalogique. Du coup, on a eu plusieurs prénoms pour l'instant. Molly, Barbara, Milton. On a eu aussi Edith qui était la grand-mère. Dawn qui était la maman. Et on est ce petit personnage apparemment qui a 17 ans. Donc à 17 ans, on est en 2016. Et du coup c'est la dernière pour l'instant de la famille apparemment. Ok, donc j'étais le monstre là concrètement. On va continuer. Et du coup, ce qui est rigolo, c'est un peu les titres. J'aime bien comment c'est positionné le doublage. Alors, c'est des toilettes. C'est des toilettes. Je suis dans des toilettes.
I got closer and closer.
C'est ma chambre. C'est ma chambre.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Waouh! Elle est morte comme ça.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Edith qui était la grand-mère. Ah, c'est la
I
photo
got
d'elle.
the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Ah bah oui, c'était sa fille. Je regardais bien sous le lit quand même.
I
Ah
can't
mais
describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
oui, comme la peluche qui était le monstre en fait. J'aimerais bien me baisser pour voir en dessous en fait, mais et là, j'aurais bien voulu savoir si c'est vraiment la salle de bain en fait. Mais waouh! Ouais, est-ce que j'étais le poulpe là tout en bas? C'est chaud quand même. Quoi? Il y a le chat aussi?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ok. Ok, donc ça c'est la chambre des parents ça, normalement.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Ah, c'est de la grand-mère. Ah oui, c'est vrai que Molly c'était la fille d'Eddie qui était la grand-mère. Mais c'est quoi tous ces oiseaux? Un serpent, ok. Ok, waouh.
We got along and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Walter, Kelvin, Sam. Davis, Edith. Moi je suis là, moi. Ok.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Et la maison était encore à peu près normale à ce moment-là.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Dragon Kids. Ok. Ok. Donc du coup c'est une mort un peu plus naturelle. Je pense.
Her room was like a museum.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Odin qui est le tout premier en fait. Ok. Et comment on sort? Non, comme ça.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Ok, donc l'histoire c'est de retrouver comment tout le monde est mort. Ok. Ok. Et du coup, je pense qu'on aura la vraie fin si on voit tous les
Even in her
personnages.
90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Du coup, ouais, on verra du coup la vraie fin, je pense. Mais, waouh, c'était bien moche.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Ok, j'ai pas de reflet. Les médicaments de grand-mère avec mardi,
It was
mercredi.
a pretty big trace.
Tu m'étonnes. There is a secret in this bathroom. Il y a un secret dans cette salle de bain.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Non, 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 je veux pas y aller, je voulais regarder la porte. Bon,
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
ok. Les photos un peu bizarres quand même. Hein. Ok. C'est mon impression ou l'appareil photo est toujours allumé? Ah, donc ça c'est la photo du repos qu'on vient de voir en fait.
knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Calvin et Sam, ok. Donc Calvin et Sam. Ah oui, donc c'est oui, frères jumeaux, ici. Donc apparemment il a fait l'armée. Qui c'est qui a fait l'armée? Samuel Finch. Donc il doit être... Ok, il est pas là. On n'a pas de Samuel Finch. Ok, est-ce que c'est une incohérence? Bon, on va voir. Allez, on va continuer.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin, donc je pense qu'on aura le portrait après. En tout cas, ils aimaient bien écrire.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Il va pas se jeter de la balançoire.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Voilà, je sens mal l'arbre.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Ouais.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Et maintenant, je vais où?
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ah, ok. C'est chaud tous les passages secrets dans cette maison.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ouais, donc ça c'est le salon où j'étais tout à l'heure. Oh les bouteilles de vin quoi.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Bah, bah, on l'a déjà fait, je crois. Non, non, mais je veux pas rentrer dedans, moi. Non, non, non. Non, je veux sortir. Et donc, elle était quand même célèbre, hein, la petite. 1946. Ouais, c'est ça.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
C'est vieux Jack dans un autre.
Oh, Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
J'aime pas ça.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
What the fuck?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
C'est bizarre.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh non, c'est tout ce qu'elle trouve à dire.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Uncle Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Waouh.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Bon, on va se diriger dans le sous-sol, je crois.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Il nous donne des tips quand même. Alors, je vais regarder un truc. Ouais, elle était bien cassée quand même la barrière. Elle a été réparée. Et la table a été remplacée. Ok. Bon, l'histoire est assez bien agencée vu que du coup on sait où est-ce qu'on doit aller et tout quoi. Ouais, là il y a le frigo.
Mom
Sven.
said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Donc là c'est le dragon, sachant qu'il est tombé du toit, Sven. Il y a eu un bruit là.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Waouh! Ça c'était un
If
après
there's a pattern in all
nucléaire.
these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
C'est la fameuse période de... anti-atomique. Walter qui est ici. Ok. Bonjour de France, hello China, greetings from India, greetings from Thailand, Russia, Brésil, Italie, Spain. C'est un faux décor. Ouais, on est d'accord.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
On est en
But if you
76
wait
là.
long enough, you get used to anything.
Pourquoi il y a un tremblement tous les midis pendant 16 ans? C'est bizarre.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was
C'était
gone.
30 ans quoi.
Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Putain, mais le nombre de livres chez eux quoi, c'est impressionnant.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara,
Donc les monstres.
Molly,
Molly c'était le monstre oublié.
Calvin.
Calvin il est tombé de la balançoire.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Ouais, t'as un train qui va lui rouler dessus.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Ouais, le train il va arriver.
I don't mind if I only have a year left.
Je regarde juste. Ouais, il est mort en 2005 donc c'est ça.
Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
C'était obligé. Et en fait, c'était le train qui devait passer en fait à côté de son mur.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
En gros, c'était le train qui passait tous les jours à midi. Sauf qu'il avait du retard là.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Le poulet quoi.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Il y a eu du bruit encore.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Bon, on va arrêter là sur cette vidéo, en espérant qu'on va pas rencontrer un train. Je sais pas quoi dire. C'est sympa. Un peu bizarre. Et je crois que j'ai dû rater Sam apparemment. On va voir, ça risque d'être prochain, je sais pas. Ouais, c'est bizarre. Bon, et Ellie bien sûr, mais elle est morte de façon naturelle, je crois. Du coup, voilà. On va voir la suite. Bon, écoutez, en attendant, je vous dis à plus.